Hi everyone, Paul from ISM. Another Flex-i-File review for you today. This is Flex-i-File CA Applicator. Now, I saw this a while back. I tried to buy it, it was out of stock. I ended up buying a different one instead. I ended up buying Mr. Hobby's glue and putty tools. The putty ones are fantastic, they work very well. This is those two, and as you can see, they're very well used. I use them all the time. They're great for applying, putty to areas, removing excess, etc. They do work very, very well. Now, the CA applicator worked for a few weeks, and even though it was recommended, I think it was Lee that reviewed it originally, and he said to me, make sure to keep the tip clean because it'll snap off eventually. And every use, I wiped it off, kept it spotless, and still over time it became brittle and it snapped off. That was originally probably a centimetre longer, going to a very fine tapered point, and it just snapped off. So basically, that's useless as that. But I'm left with these, but I think that set was about £8, £9. It might have been dearer, to be honest, I can't quite remember now. So a bit disappointing for it to break, but I'm still left with these and they do work well. So I bought the proper one. Again, Flex-i-File. It's aluminium tube with Flex-i-File's distinctive logo on the side. And basically the tip, if you can see it, is a metal bar with two prongs at the end, and basically what you do is you dip that in your super glue and the two prongs will pick up a decent blob of it, and then you touch it to apply it where you want it. Now, I have seen people make these out of needles before, but basically you take a normal sewing needle, cut the very tip off, and you've got a CA applicator, and it does work very well. The ones I saw, they weren't as fine an applicator as this, it wasn't as fine a tip, but it did work. So if you're looking to save a bit of money, this cost £5.84, so it's not the cheapest tool in the world, but it's well made. It's aluminium. And for me, it sits nicely on my little touch and flow holder, so it sits there ready to be used. So we'll do a quick test of it. I've got the same plastic card I used for the touch and flow demo. Need some super glue, which will have some thin. Oh, this is the other part for the Mr. Hobby set as well, which is a little glue part, which as you can see I haven't emptied for quite a while and it's quite full, so I need to look at that. So super glue in a pot. Basically get your prong, dip it in. The more you dip it in, the more glue you're going to get, and then it's a case of pop your blob down depending on what you need. So we don't need a massive amount. I'm going to use one of our photo etch places. Pop it down, job done. So there's a small part glued on. Obviously the more glue you want, I find the more of an angle you dip it in, the more glue you get on there, because you're covering more surface here. And obviously if you dip it in a couple of times, you can put it in, spread it, again we use our tool, in, job done. So it's that simple. Now, as you can see, they are neatly glued in. There's a bit of excess because I'm not really concentrating on what I'm doing because I'm on camera trying to do this for you guys. But they're glued in fine. It's nice, quick, simple. There's nothing to go on about this tool. It is what it is. It's a metal tube with two prongs on the end that picks up super glue, and that's it really. But it does work very well, as you can see. Now the beauty of this over the Mr. Hobby set and other ones I've seen, because it's metal, you can clean it. Now typically in super glue, it's flame. I've got my lighter. Don't smoke. I don't smoke. Bad for you. And any excess super glue can literally be burnt off, because super glue is highly flammable. A couple of seconds under the lighter, wait for your tip to go black, give it a wipe off, so be careful you don't burn yourself, and there you go, as good as new. So you can keep that in tip-top condition. It's not going to fall to bits. The only thing you'll do with this is snap it if you're a bit heavy-handed, so you're not going to waste money like I did on the Mr. Hobby one. And it's a cracking bit of kit, and as you can see, you can perfectly applicate super glue in small. I mean, you can do a lot more like it will put a absolute dot on there. If you just touch it in and use one side of the prong to touch down, you can get a minute amount of super glue on. Really good. And as you see on larger bits, you can dab it down and pull it across as well. Very, very good tool. Not the cheapest tool in the world, but for £6, it's well worth a go. I think it's a brilliant bit of kit, and it's used an absolute massive amount. I've had it a couple of weeks now, and it's been used so many times I've lost count now. I used to use toothpicks, but the terrible habit of toothpicks I've got, I dip in the super glue, stick it on, and I put it in my gob while I'm working away. And I haven't done it yet, but one day I'm going to put the wrong end in my mouth and it's going to be stuck to my lip. So not the best way to do it, but that's how I normally do it with a cocktail sticker. I started using that now, and there's no looking back. It's a much more precise, usable tool, and it holds a lot more super glue if you need it than a cocktail stick as well. Now, the only thing I would say, burning off super glue isn't the best thing in the world. I read ages ago that burning super glue creates a cyanide gas. I can't find anything that backs that up, so it might be a complete load of rubbish. But burning anything like that isn't good for your health, so don't breathe in the fumes. But that's it. That's by the by. There's a bit of information inside. It's basically on their product range. It's a bit of a pig to get out. And it runs through a little bit about this as well. They're all in there, and all their tools. Just tells you a little bit about the company and a bit of an instruction sheet. So instructions say the CA Applicator is a new tool for applying CA glue cement in a special way. I don't see why it's a special way. It's a handy way. Hold the CA applicator in one hand and dip the tip in a small pot of CA cement. The CA applicator will pick up a small drop of CA cement on its tip. You then apply the cement where you want it. Afterwards, you can wipe off the tip with a paper towel or piece of cloth. It's as simple as that, and it is. You've seen it. If the CA applicator becomes clogged or has a build-up at the tip, a small hobby knife will remove it, which is true, or a flame will remove it in seconds. Like I say, just be very, very careful, because those fumes can cause major health problems, as well as just making you generally look unwell. So there you go, guys. Another nice tool review. I think it's a cracking tool. It's a cheap tool as well. It's not going to break the bank, and it works very, very well. So there we go. Hope you like that, and I'll catch you guys on the forum.